Hi, I'm Scott Friedlander, and I lead Insight Public Sector. Thrilled to be here today to talk to you about Insight technologies in the solution and services areas, and specifically our partner Cisco. Today, I have Mike Younkers, who's the Federal Director of Systems Engineering at Cisco, and then Jeff Stiles, who's Federal Partner Account Manager also at Cisco, supporting Insight. Good day, gentlemen. How are you guys doing?
Good, Scott. How are you?
Good, good. Thanks for joining me today. I really appreciate that.
Hey, Scott, I'm doing fantastic, and I love talking tech, so thanks for this opportunity.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, Mike. Tech has changed. We've been in this, I don't want to even say how many decades, but the speed of change in these last few years, and certainly because of the pandemic, is gone at a level that I think most of us haven't seen, between Internet of Things, security, cloud migrations, Wi-Fi. So, you can keep on naming, the list just goes on, and still changing, portals, et cetera. So with that said, one of the new initiatives we started at Insight was standing up in Quantico Cyber Hub, a solutions environment, allowing our customers to really see this lab type environment around different technology areas. And Jeff, I know you've spent a lot of time with us there, ribbon cutting actually this week. So I'd love for you to talk a little bit about Quantico Cyber Hub and the foundation and what we're doing there.
Yeah, so look forward to the ribbon cutting tomorrow, and also want to congratulate you on your partnership with the Cyber Bytes Foundation, in support of the Quantico Cyber Hub. I really like the Cyber Bytes Foundation and their mission in advancing the federal community with different technologies, and their mantra: education, innovation, and outreach. It's perfect for today's ever-changing environment. Also, it's a great area for the federal community that to come in and sandbox different things and actually demo products. I know you have a lot of vendors in there, so Cisco's very thankful to be part of that environment.
Well, we do have some awesome partners, and Cisco, NVIDIA, Pure Storage, the list can go on and on. But most importantly, we're actually showcasing this one of two ways. We're showcasing at the Cyber Hub itself in different environments, which we'll talk about. And we're also doing virtual demos to our state and local and our federal customers that, it's not easy access for everyone to get to Quantico. So that's the real intent there. Hey, Mike, what I do want to talk about, though, we talk about Internet of Things, we talk about devices, endpoint. Why don't you elaborate on all the great things we're doing there with Cisco and really the capabilities Cisco brings?
Yeah, thank you, Scott. I love to talk technology, as I said, and I think what's interesting is the world is moving at such a rapid pace as it relates to technology. And there's a lot of jargon out there. There's a lot of buzzwords. There's a lot of, hype cycles that are going out. And to Jeff's point, one of the things we love about being able to partner with you at the Cyber Hub is we can make these things real for our customers. So it's not just a bunch of words or a bunch of jargon. We can really build and instantiate so customers can experience, either physically or virtually, the details underneath of what happens when you deal with 5G, be either public or private 5G, when you try to secure the Internet of Things. When we talk about those types of things, what is artificial intelligence? What does it mean? We can make those things real for customers, and that's the power of what we're doing together.
Yeah, why don't we're working on a couple of real customer projects right now as we speak that is taking the NVIDIA and Pure Storage and Cisco and putting it together. And then you got to project manage it, and then the app development work as well. Can you just explain how you see that world changing with these core technologies coming together and really streamlining that type of approach to our customers?
Yeah, for us, the world that I live in, this really gets us into the heart of a DevSecOps conversation. So what does that really mean? Well, it means the bringing together of those various partner companies that you talked about and the capabilities that our customers are trying to get after. They don't want artificial intelligence for the sake of artificial intelligence. They want artificial intelligence because they're asking questions, they're trying to solve problems, they're trying to get to intelligence itself under, in the haystack of all this data. So what we are able to do using modern best practices, industry standard DevOps kinds of concepts, collectively we can work together and automate a lot of those things to make it simpler, the infrastructure, the care and feeding of the infrastructure for our customers. Let's simplify that, remove all that complexity from them so that they can get after what it is that they're trying to solve using an enabling technology like artificial intelligence.
You know, one of the things, and I'll let Jeff jump in here, one of the things that I do feel really proud about with Insight Public Sector is we are a technology solutions aggregator, bringing different partners together, which normally would consider themselves, I wouldn't say competition, but they wouldn't necessarily embrace each other. And I think we're bringing that together as well for the good of the customer's mission, the customer's vision, and ultimately supporting our customers, be it in Department of Defense, civilian, in K through 12, higher ed, municipality, state government. So Jeff, could you just explain how you've really seen it come together as we modeled out this the Cyber Hub for the last 6 months?
Yeah, I really see a lot of activity down there with your team and with other teams and with all the vendors really working together to come up with a multi-vendor solution, really focused on solving customer problems with just a good group of partners building the right solution.
No, that's great. You know, we have stood up artificial intelligence capability there with not only HoloLens and Microsoft, but also NVIDIA. We've stood up Cisco and Red Hat and our 5G lab as well. Mike, any comments on that as we start closing out this conversation?
Yeah, I love the conversation that you and Jeff are having, because to your point, Scott, when you're a single provider, you think you have the solution to everything, but the reality is what our customers need is a fully integrated solution. And the partnership with Insight Public Sector, being able to make that real in an environment like this. You mentioned IoT earlier, or I mentioned IoT earlier. Let's just talk about that for a second in the context of bringing 5G underneath of it. 5G is a connectivity capability that lets us do things in a secure fashion, faster, bigger, better, blah, 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 all that cool stuff. But it also allows us to think about different ways to solve customer problems collectively together. But it takes multiple people coming together. And I just want to say that the opportunity that you're providing for us to come together as an industry to solve our customer problems is really, really cool.
Well, I appreciate that, but having partners like you that are world-class, truly world-class, and been around for decades and decades, continuing to improve technologies, make it really easy. So I can't thank you enough. Any final comments as we close out? Jeff?
No, just thank you for the partnership. We look forward to building more down there and doing more around 5G, around IoT, around programmability. That's where the customer wants to go. That's where the future is going to be. So thank you very much for the opportunity.
And Mike?
Yeah, and what I would say is please don't let the buzzwords or the hype cycle or the jargon get in your way. We are doing amazing things together as it relates to 5G. We're doing amazing things together as it relates to the Internet of Things and the security underneath of that. This stuff doesn't have to be as complex or as hard as people make it. So come work with us and see it. Get your hands on it, either physically or virtually, to understand what the capabilities are.
Yeah, and the nice thing is we've implemented these solutions all over the country in all different types of environments in the public sector. So we really do have many, many use cases, many projects in operation today, and obviously always evolving, right? Because the technology needs to continue to evolve. The methodologies need to improve, the security elements of it as well. So thank you all. Really appreciate it. And I hope you go to our www.insight.com and you can see right where the Quantico Cyber Hub, as we've talked about today, or all our different solutions and services, working with Cisco and other core partners that we work with as a bundled offering to our customer base for their mission. Thank you again and have a great day.
All right. Thanks, Scott.